statements from head coach Jaap Stam before proceeding to questions. Jaap, not the result the team was looking for. How did you see the match being played out?
No, it's not the result. Although from the start it's not an easy game, but you're always playing for a win. So we started. I think the first minutes we started quite well. We went on the front foot, going forward in the press against them as well, and also getting that ball. Still, sometimes we're too eager to go forward, and then we lose that ball. And when you lose it, their ability. They're in transition. They come out, and they're dangerous. And that's what happened. So after 10 minutes, whatever, they took over a little bit, and we find it more difficult to keep the ball, because at times we were in very good situations that we won the ball, but then we gave it away too early, and then every time we come into a transition, and then it becomes difficult to get out of that pressure. When you lose it yourself, well, there are opportunities to play out. So then you see as well that they're putting the pressure a little bit more. They deliver these early crosses from the sides, and then that makes it at times difficult to defend. But still, we managed to not concede. Also by saying that, we come out a couple of times very dangerous, and created a couple of very good opportunities that we should have scored from ourselves in the first half as well. So they could have scored, but also ourselves, we could have scored, or we should have scored in the first half as well. After the break, we changed a couple of things, and then you see as well that we get more into the game. The only frustration is that you again concede from a free kick, and that's very frustrating, because you need to be determined enough to defend that, which we don't, and then you of course need to get back into the game. We made a couple of subs. We're pushing forward. You see that you control the game a lot more, because you need to as well, because the opposition is pushed back. By doing that, you create even then very good opportunities, very clear opportunities, to score goals. And if you combine both teams, you can say they've had more shots, but we had very good and very open opportunities to score in even second half. And then you at least need to equalize. So that becomes also, and that's not for me, but that's for everybody, and everybody is talking about that as well. Yeah, it's frustrating that you concede like this, but also that you don't pull the trigger yourself in scoring that goal. So at least you have a draw. And that's what we need to do. We need to be more decisive in things that we do. But still, if you look at it, there's still then a long way to go. Also in what players need to expect from each other at times.
We will start with Brennaman from the Cincinnati Enquirer. Pat.
Thanks, Anwar. Yeah, hopefully you can hear me okay. Having dealt with problems defending set pieces earlier this season, how surprising was it to concede at that particular moment? What was your reaction to the defending on that play?
Well, my reaction is the same like everybody else, of course. You're disappointed that you concede, especially in a manner like that. So because again, and we know, and we've seen that last week as well, we know that set pieces are very important, so you need to be very determined in what you do in defending these set pieces. And we weren't that enough, so I need to look back at it again in how that goal went in. But normally you cannot concede from a situation like that, and by conceding like that, it's a thing that you need to come back into the game. And that's disappointing for the players. Find it, of course, very disappointing, but ourselves as well. So, but after that, we still had the opportunities to equalise, which unfortunately we couldn't do.
We'll continue with Laurel Fader from Queen City Press. Laurel. We'll go back to Laurel shortly. We'll continue with Tyler Snipes.
Thank you. Just after looking at this and looking at the standings, I guess, is it too early to ask if you're worried about where this team is at from a points collection perspective, and if the emphasis of the overall objectives of this team changes just when you look at where you're at in this moment?
Okay, can you repeat it again, because I didn't understand the first bits? Sorry.
Yeah, just kind of looking at where the team is at in the standings with points collection, kind of in a not just in a bit of a hole. Does that change the priorities of this team and the expectations that you might have going forward just this far in and the reality, the position you're in this moment?
Yeah, it's always difficult to say from my perspective as well. If you go in from starting and the team is at a certain place, roster is set, and then you bring a couple of players in the next season, that already everything is going to change, and that you're for sure going to end up in the playoff spots. That's very hard to achieve straight away. And maybe we as a club or whatever, we can say, yeah, we need to be there. Eventually you need to come over there. But it takes time as well, because not only ourselves, we bring in different players, and you want to improve the roster and letting other players go, but also other teams are doing the same thing. Also the best teams in the league are doing these things, so also they become stronger. So it's still a process of taking time at times, and then hoping of course that you get some result, that the process goes quicker, and then you can make that next step, because then the confidence is growing as well, and that's what you've seen today a little bit as well. And in other games we had that as well, that you get like the opportunities, and then if you can reward yourself to at least, like today as well, get a point out of this particular game, then it can go a little bit quicker. But to say, like, starting this season, okay, yeah, now this is the season, and now we're definitely going to be ending up in the playoffs or close to that, So that's a little bit of a difficulty I think to say. Because if you say that, then everybody wants that. But if you say that is definitely going to happen, then people expect that as well, and that's the thing that we need to be cautious for as well. As a sportsman, for myself, and you always want to win every game. So and that's I think for every player and everybody who loves the club, that's the same thing. You always want to go every game, and that's what we're trying to do as well. But you can also see. Now, the last game that we've been playing, we've been facing very good teams as well, which are not easy to beat, and that we need to work very hard to get something out of it, and that's what we're trying to do every game, and that's how we need to look at it from game to game as well. And if people say, they need to be at least over there, then I'm thinking, okay, that's based on what? I don't agree with that. It's hopefully we can get there. Hopefully we can do that quick as well. But we also know that sometimes it takes a little bit of time. But time, that's the thing that we don't really have always in soccer, and that's the thing that I understand as well.
We'll continue with Rob Pierce from Cincinnati Soccer Talk.
One of the things I've noticed between this year and last year is last year when you would concede, the heads would go down and they would kind of droop, and you really didn't have a lot of fight in your team. But the last few weeks, obviously hasn't been the case. You've been able to, even though you came up short today, you've been able to fight and at least, attempt to get your way back in the game. I was wondering if you could put your finger on where that's coming from.
Yeah, that's what we need, and we always talk, and we always address these things, that what you need in a game is always, of course, you need to have your work rates. You need to be willing to work very hard, because it is your work, and basically, so that I don't think you can give compliments for players or a team working hard, because it's one of the things that you always need to bring. Within that, you need to have fight, because in soccer and sports, especially at every level, there's also disappointment, and the most important thing is that how do you handle that moment and how do you step over that point of disappointment to still get something out of the game as an individual, but also for the team. And we spoke about that many times, but also it's very important as well that this team, you can see that there's the mentality is a little bit different. They keep on fighting because they also believe that we're close in getting results, because they also feel that sometimes when we push on, that we create opportunities that we should have and we needed to score. The players feel that as well, but they also feel that at times we concede too easily, and that's the tough part of it as well. But these are also all things that we need to address, that we need to work on to improve. and you can do that on the training pitch, and then of course during the game, you need to act on it as well, and you need to show what you're capable of, and every player within the roster, the whole team, they were, like you're saying, they're willing to have that fight within them, and they try to get the most out of the game. And sometimes you need to have a little bit of luck at times as well.
We only have time for one more question. We'll go with Laurel Fader.
Hello?
Good. We will go with Jaina for the last question.
Hi, Jaap. I'm wondering your evaluation of Kenneth's performance and the defense just as a whole, especially in the first half, being able to hold off New England and enter the halftime at 0.
Yeah, and the defenders are working hard. There's always things that we think, and with the goalkeeper as well in communication, that things can be better. They can simplify things at times as well in what to do. I think, and that's the thing for us to work on as well. You can say, you didn't concede, but that's not only up to the 3 at the back or 5 at the back in times, and the 3 in front and the 2 up top. It's about the whole team. To work hard to defend and not concede. That's what they've tried to do at times. A little bit of hard moments, but that was the same for them at times when we came out and we created these opportunities as well. Their goalie made a couple of very good saves as well. So that's why they're there in goal. The play is you can see as well that they're working hard. They try to communicate. They do that in the training sessions. They show their ability and what they can do, what they need to do, and that's how it goes. And hopefully, with Geoff and Gustavo coming in later, of course, the understandings between the back 4 or back 3 or 5 at times becomes better and becomes even stronger by the day, by the week that we can work.
Hello, everyone. We're now here with defender Geoff Cameron. We will start with some opening statements before proceeding to questions. Geoff, not the match that the team was looking for here at Tikio Stadium. How did you see the match being played out?
Yeah, obviously disappointed. The first 15-20 minutes we weren't playing our normal way. I think we were just a little bit ambitious and anxious, you could say, because we're playing in front of our home crowd, and we want to get something going early. The crowd was amazing. The fans, you feel them, and you want to give them something to cheer for, and I think that was just maybe in our head a little bit too much, and a little bit less composure on the ball. But then in the second half, when they got their goal, obviously we pushed on, and we had some chances. We can't say that they had their chances as well, but be a little bit more ruthless, and we'll walk away with something.
We will start with Pat Brennan from the Cincinnati Enquirer.
Geoff, thanks a lot for your time. You've been here for about 3 weeks now, and I guess just having now seen this team at full health go up against what is right now the best team in the Eastern Conference, what's your evaluation of FC Cincinnati on the whole, the progress that's been made since you've been here? When you look out at this thing, do you see it going in the right direction?
Yeah, we have quality. We have very good players. I think we have a lot of potential. I think it's fine margins you can say, and the Revs maybe they spend a little bit more time with each other, and with last year's experience, and with this team coming together, and new guys, a lot of guys coming in. So I think it's going to take a little bit of time, but essentially I think we're heading in the right direction, obviously, but the results. It was a great win last week, but we got to make our home field advantage, and we got to get results at home, and that's a given. In saying that, that's why we're disappointed, and everybody was disappointed today. We had chances, but we are going in the right direction. It's just going to take time, and it's fine margins.
We will continue with Tyler Snipes from SBI Soccer.
Thank you. Jeff, just working with Caleb and Gustavo. Caleb obviously not known as a center back for the majority of his career, and Gustavo is very young. It seems working with three in the back is much more effective for this team, just considering the long view. Where do you feel like this is at in like the progression? Is it still early, or have we seen maybe the best of what this can be?
No, I think it's definitely still early, given the fact that we can change to a back three, to a back five, to back four, and interchanging, allowing guys to come in the midfield. But saying that, Caleb has the ability to step in the midfield and guys drop out. So it's definitely it's a work in progress. The more minutes guys get with one another, the more training guys get, to know each other's habits. I think the better we'll be. And I think Caleb's done a great job since he's come in and filled that role. And Gustavo is obviously adapting to a new country and new players and learning English. And there's a lot of things that are, you can say, that are difficult to adjust to another country and to a new team and a new club. And I think all that is a part. And I think it's a learning curve for everybody in the club and on the pitch as well.
We have time for 3 more questions. We'll start with Jana.
Hi, Jeff. Wondering if you can take us back to that final shot right at the end there, and kind of what was going through your mind and how your reaction to that.
Yeah, I just wanted to get the ball on net. It was a great ball. Obviously, it was a bit high, and I tried to get over it. It would have been a great opportunity, obviously, if I put it in the back of the net. Last minute, tying goal, obviously, but didn't turn out the way I wanted to. Obviously, I wish I could have gotten a little bit more air. But those are the things, disappointing. Yeah, it was just, kind of a last opportunity, really.
Rob Pierce from Cincinnati Soccer Talk.
Jeff, last year, this team, when they would concede, the heads would start to droop and things would kind of snowball on them pretty quickly. The last few weeks, however, you guys have had a lot of fight, and the timing with that actually coincides with your arrival here. I was just wondering if that was something that you've been trying to tell everybody here, is just to not give up and to keep fighting.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to lead by example and trying to be a strong voice in the back and trying to help out the guys as much as I can. I've played a long time, and I see a lot of things, and when you go a goal down, and you just got to push us. Don't give up, don't have that attitude, and keep going, keep doing what we're doing, and get ourselves into the game and just doing the little things. And it seems that last week was the first time we've come back from a goal down and to win the game. And I thought we had that belief today. We went a goal down, we pushed, and we had some opportunities to get ourselves back in the game. So for me, it's a good sign, because we're showing that we still have fight, and we don't want to give up, and we want to keep giving everything we got. And we're not going to roll down easy. It's not going to be easy for teams. But saying that, we need to be a little bit more deadly, more ruthless on both sides of the box, and having that attitude to be resilient and to keep fighting. So yeah, I mean that's why I'm here, and I'm trying to help in every way I can.
We go with Laurel Fader.
Yes, Laurel. You're on mute.
Looks like we're having some.
Oh, can you hear me? Sorry. I'm sorry about that. It was a pretty physical match today. Some talking back and forth, a little bit of pushing. Did you feel like it ever got it out of control at times? And can you just kind of take us through just how it was like for you guys on the field through all that?
I love it. It's part of the game, and I think, obviously, I'm not going to say anything about the refs or anything like that, but few missed calls go both ways, but it's part of the game. It makes it physical. This is our home field, so we got to establish ourselves. We got to make our ground and put a stamp down. So being physical, being dominant in the air, physically challenging everything, that's got to be a given every single week. And for me, that's normal. The forwards are going to smash me. I'm going to try and smash them. It's part of the game, but obviously making it clean and physical and making it challenging, and for us to pick up the first and second balls is key. Because if we win the first and second balls, that means that we're able to go and break the lines and create opportunities going forward. So to break the lines and get opportunities quickly, and we had a few opportunities like that today, and obviously we didn't finish, but I think it's always going to be a physical game, especially with the atmosphere. It was great today, and you feeling the crowd and everything, and it gets guys up for the game.
That we will conclude with defender Geoff Cameron. Thank you for your time, Geoff.
Thanks, guys.
Hello, everyone. Thank you. We'll start with some opening statements from goalkeeper Kenneth Vermeer before proceeding to questions. Kenneth, you had a strong performance for the team, had some really great saves. What did you see? How did you see the game being played out?
Well, the start of the game was a little bit tough. I think the first 15 to 20 minutes, we were just defending, but I think after that, we came a little bit better in the game. They had some opportunities, and we created some really good opportunities as well. And how I see the second half is they didn't create it anything. That's why it's so disappointing. Off a set piece, we conceded a goal, and after that, we still had some chances, but we couldn't finish it.
We will start with Brennaman from the Cincinnati Enquirer.
Thanks, Anwar. Kenneth, can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay. Having now seen the team at almost full health play against the best team in the Eastern Conference, how do you rate the progress of the group in the month that you've been here and the quality of FC Cincinnati?
Well, I think since day one when I came to Cincy, I thought the level would be lower, but I think the level of the team is pretty good. It's decent. We can compete with the big teams in the Eastern Conference, and how I feel is the games that we lost since I'm here was not deserved, but that's also part of football. You need to score goals to win, and that's what we didn't do today.
We'll continue with Jana.
Hi, Kenneth. Just wondering what you thought of your personal performance today, especially in the first half. New England was getting a lot of shots off and had possession most of that time.
Yeah, my own performance, of course. I'm a goalie. I'm the last person to try to save the balls. I think in the first half it went pretty well. I made some good saves, but not only I did. I think Jeff, Joe, they cleared a lot of good opportunities from New England as well. So I think overall it was a good team performance, and like I already said, we need to. I lost the word. We need to, finish our own opportunities as well to win, or at least get a draw and keep a point or maybe 3 at home.
Yes, next we have a question from Laura Feder. Laura?
Thank you. Sorry, can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I hear you.
What do you feel like the difference is between the 3-back system and the 4-back system for you? Do you feel like that has worked out well for you guys these last 2 games?
I think it did. For example, like against Montreal, we didn't give like a lot of opportunities away. Today it was a little bit different, especially the first 20 minutes or like the first half. They created like a lot of shot chances and good opportunities, but the second half we played a little bit different. We put it like more pressure on them. They didn't create like a lot of chances. I think the only chance that they had was like the set piece when they scored, and overall our second half was a lot better.
With that, we will conclude with goalkeeper Kenneth Vermeer. Kenneth, thank you for your time.
Okay, you're welcome.